Hi guys, welcome back to another week of Game Things. I'm your host for the week, Ming, and today we're gonna start off our major news segment with the long-awaited Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 is basically a sequel to the 2019 Modern Warfare reboot. So far there isn't too much officially revealed for the game, other than some artworks, but unofficially we have some pretty sweet leaks and data mines. First off, regarding the open beta for Modern Warfare 2, based on data mined info, like the previous Call of Duty betas, the beta will be available first on PS4 and PS5 before being available for other consoles. The second leaked info is that the game will have 3 different versions, the Standard Edition, a cross-gen bundle, as well as the Vault Edition. Each version will come with the base game, early access to open beta, and some undisclosed items. But for the Vault Edition, based on data mined, players that have this version will have the Season 1 Battle Pass with 50 tier skips, a Red Team Operator Pack which includes 4 operators, mainly Ghost, Pharah, Price, and Soap, a 10-hour 2x XP and Weapon XP boost, a FJX Cinder Weapon Vault, and last but not least, the Ghost Legacy Pack, which includes 12 operator skins and 10 weapon blueprints. So quite a lot of stuff overall. The last bit of info we have is that the game will possibly be releasing on the 28th of October and will be available on PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and last but not least, Xbox Series S and X. There's also speculation that the game will be available on Steam for PC users, but of course, this is just speculation, so just keep that in mind. Anyways, we at Game Things will continue to cover all this info on Modern Warfare 2 as of when more info is revealed. So be sure to stay subscribed and follow all our socials to stay up to date to all these gaming news. The second piece of major news we have for this week is on Lord of the Rings Gollum. Lord of the Rings Gollum is a stealth-based action-adventure game, and since you are playing as Gollum, which is a small hobbit, stealth play will be critical for you to take down majority of your foes. There has been some trailer footage revealed so far, but there wasn't really much showcase other than the overall environment of the game. But in general, the game does look good visually, which is expected since the game will have ray tracing as well. Aside from that, the game will also take advantage of PS5 features like haptic feedback and adaptive triggers as well. The game is currently set to be released on the 1st of September this year for PS5, PS4, Xbox Series S and X, Xbox One, as well as PC. The game will also be available on the Switch, but the Switch release will be available at a later date that has not been announced yet. So, for all you fans of Lord of the Rings, make sure to keep an eye out for this title when it's released. That's all we have for our major news this week. Now, let's move on to our next segment, Flash News. This week, we are starting off our Flash News segment with some rather disappointing news. First off, the Marvel MMORPG that was under development has officially been cancelled. The studio that was developing it also developed DC Universe Online and The Lord of the Rings Online. Unfortunately, they have officially pulled out all their resources from the Marvel MMORPG and are reallocating their resources to other projects. This is rather unfortunate as there are many Marvel fans out there, and it would have been nice to see a Marvel MMORPG actually pop off and be successful for once. But anyhow, moving on from that, we have news on the Pokemon-like MMO, Temtem. Temtem will finally be leaving early access on the 6th of September 2022. And with its official release, there will be new features including seasons and weekly quests. At the same time, the final island archipelago will also be released for players to explore. All in all, Temtem is a great creature collector game for players that are bored of Pokemon. So if you're interested in the game and would really like to support it, there is a collector's edition that will be available alongside the official release. In the collector's edition, there will be a figure, a set of Tem card replicas, some pins, as well as some patches that can be sewn on bags or shirts. So pretty cool stuff overall. The game is currently available for pre-order and will be available on PC, PS5, Xbox Series X, as well as Nintendo Switch. So be sure to check out the game when it's released. The next piece of flash news we have for you guys is on the title For the King. Specifically, its recently announced sequel that is set to be released next year. For the King is a strategic RPG where you and your party travel through various biomes and engage in turn-based combat. The game can also be considered as a roguelike, as each map will have new encounters and new quests, making the game replayable. Plus, you can also play it with friends, as the game has local and online co-op as well. Now that is all the features in For the King, but how about its sequel? The sequel will have brand new art style, new biomes to explore, as well as brand new soundtracks for players to enjoy. Presently, there isn't much else known about it yet, but I do expect the game to come with some new mechanics to spice up the game even further and make it have more roguelike elements compared to its prequel. In any case, For the King is a ton of fun, and I highly suggest you try it out, as I myself had some pretty fond memories of the game when I was playing it with my friends. If after you tried it out and enjoyed it, then you guys can look forward to the sequel coming out next year. And don't worry, as I will be here to keep you guys updated as well, as I really enjoy the game a lot and am looking forward to the sequel as well. Heck, if you guys really like the game a lot, maybe in the future we can arrange for a game with you guys. If you guys like the idea, how about leaving some comments in the comment section and maybe we'll explore this possibility. The next piece of flash news we have today is on JoJo's Bizarre Adventure All-Star Battle R. The game, as its name suggests, is a fighting game, featuring characters from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Visually, the game looks great and features the classic JoJo art style that fans of the series are used to. Other than that, there really isn't too much to talk about it, as it is a fighting game after all, and so far there isn't any particularly interesting mechanics or features that were showcased in the trailer. But the one cool thing is that the game does come with a huge roster of 50 characters, which is great news as it includes a ton of people's favorite characters, which is always nice fan service. Anyhow, if you guys are interested in the game, make sure to check it out when it's released on the 2nd of September this year on PS5, PS4, Xbox Series S and X, Xbox One, Switch and PC. If you would like to support the game even further, you can also get the collector's edition, which features a figurine and some other cool stuff as well. Oh, and for all you PlayStation people out there, you guys might be getting early access to the demo of the game sometime in the future, so be sure to keep an eye out on that. The next piece of flash news we have is on Star Wars Jedi Survivor, the sequel to Star Wars The Fallen Order. Presently, there isn't much info about the game other than a cinematic trailers for players to watch, but the cinematic trailer is pretty darn cool and I highly suggest you guys to check it out. But anyways, the game is set to be released next year 2023, so for all you Star Wars fans out there, make sure to keep an eye out on this title when it's released. The last piece of flash news we have for this week is on Returnal. Returnal, the third-person shooter roguelike, which was previously exclusive to PlayStation, is rumored to be soon available on Steam, thanks to info leaked in SteamDB. So for players that are interested in the game, make sure to check it out when it's available on PC. That wraps up the flash news segment. Now let's move on to the next segment on game delays. So for this week we have two delays. The first delay is on Tekia, the Breath of the Wild light game. The game was originally set to be released in spring 2020, but has now been delayed to early 2023 instead. The other delay we have is on the Queries multiplayer mode, which has been delayed to the 8th of July instead of being available on release. The local co-op, however, will still be available alongside the release date, which is 10th of June. So be sure to take note of that. That's it for the delays this week. Now, let's move on to the next segment featuring some interesting titles that are being released this week. The first title we have for today is SnowRunner, available on PS5 as well as Xbox Series S and X. The game, which was already available on other platforms previously, has now also been released on next-gen platforms. SnowRunner is effectively truck simulator, but instead of driving trucks, you are driving off-road vehicles and traversing through various tough environments like mountains and valleys. So if you're into truck simulator, you might want to check out SnowRunner as well, because alongside their next-gen console release, SnowRunner also has a brand new season update that will feature various challenges and races for players to take part in, making it the perfect time to get into the game and try it out. The next featured title we have for you guys today is called Silt. Silt is an underwater puzzle adventure game where you are a diver that has the ability to transfer your mind to various other creatures and use them to go through various tunnels and clear various puzzles. Overall, the game looks great visually and it has a pretty good soundtrack. But if you're looking for a chill and relaxing game, this game might not be for you, as the game is rather dark and unsettling. Not to the extent where it's straight up horror, but the game has just a overall dark vibe, similar to titles like Little Nightmares and Inside. So if you're into those games, then this game will be right up your alley. But if you aren't, I would still suggest you give the game a shot, as it looks really good overall. But do be warned, the game is not for everyone. The last featured game we have today is Unexplored 2, The Wayfarer's Legacy, available now on PS4, Xbox Series S and X, Xbox One, Switch, as well as PC. Unexplored 2 is an open-world roguelike action RPG game that features a top-down view similar to another popular roguelike, Death's Door. Like many other open-world games, the game will also have some mini puzzles for players to solve that might give them more loot. And since it's a roguelike game, you can expect each run to be different, as there are various things that can be changed, ranging from the areas, skills, classes, equipment, and so much more. So if you're into roguelikes, make sure to check this game out, as it's looking like a great game where you can sink a ton of hours into it. That's basically it for all our featured releases this week. Now let's move on to our most anticipated segment, Free Things. This week, as usual, Epic Games Store will be giving out a free game. However, at this point of time, we do not have info on what the free game will be. So for podcast listeners, make sure to check out the description on what the free game will be, and for our YouTube viewers, you guys will be able to see the title of the free game on screen as I'm talking about this part. Now, let's move on to Prime Gaming. For players that have Prime subscriptions, you guys will have access to Far Cry 4, Escape from Monkey Island, Astrologaster, Across the Grooves, Calico, as well as WRC8 FIA. For PS Plus subscribers, you guys will get God of War, Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl, Naruto Boruto Shinobi Striker. Those are for PS4 PS Plus subscribers. For PS5 PS Plus subscribers, you guys will only be getting Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl. Kind of unfortunate, but it is what it is. Finally, Gold subscribers, you guys will get the Avon Colony, Project High Rise Architects Edition, Super Meat Boy, and Rascals. Be sure to claim these games as soon as possible while it's still available. And that marks the end of our podcast episode this week. Thank you so much for staying till the end. I hope you guys enjoyed the episode, and we'll see you guys next week on another episode of Game Things. Goodbye!